True success isn't found in a costume, but in the radical act of refusing to take yours off. This is the lesson of Toni Collette's career, the beautiful truth that nonconformity is not a risk, but a weapon. Toni Collette is a working-class kid from suburban Blacktown in Sydney, the daughter of a truck driver who initially chased a dream of being in musicals, only to find her greatest acclaim in roles that gouge the depths of the human psyche, like Hereditary and her Emmy-winning work in United States of Tara. She's the chameleon who actively refuses to wear a mask. This fierce authenticity, this choice to prioritise the work over the celebrity, is precisely why she's adored by critics and simultaneously unsettles audiences who demand that their stars conform. This video is about the radical honesty of Toni Collette and how her refusal to change has cemented her place as one of the most powerful and yet most controversial figures in modern cinema. Before the accolades and global recognition, Toni's was a childhood defined by working-class resilience and boundless confidence. Born Toni Collette in November 1972, she later added the second E back for her stage name, finding that it sounded better. She was raised first in Glebe, then in Blacktown, New South Wales. Her father, Bob, drove trucks and her mother, Judy, worked in customer service. This was not a privileged start. Collette had described her family as not being the most communicative, but full of supportive love. Her earliest dreams were more about the spectacle of the stage than about art house cinema. She loved to sing and dance. She and her mum would spend Saturday afternoons watching movie matinees presented by Bill Collins. Shout out to you if you remember him. At Blacktown Girls High School, like most girls in that era, she loved and was into netball, tap dancing and singing. The confidence was there early too, plenty of it. At 11, she faked appendicitis so convincingly that doctors removed a perfectly healthy appendix, which is a bizarre sort of early audition for her future role as a master manipulator of emotional truth. At 16, with her parents' blessing, she dropped out of high school, transferring to the Australian Theatre for Young People to pursue acting. In 1991, she enrolled at NIDA, the National Institute of Dramatic Art in Kensington, but after just 18 months, she left NIDA for her first major professional theatre role. This was as Sonia in a production of Uncle Vanya, directed by Neil Armfield and starring the legendary Geoffrey Rush. Toni's film career started quietly. In 1992, at age 20, she made her feature debut in the comedy drama Spotswood, released in the US as The Efficiency Expert, starring Anthony Hopkins and a young Russell Crowe. The critics saw her immediately. She was said to be terrific, playing factory worker Wendy. She earned her first ACTA Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. While waiting for the next big role, she worked part-time delivering pizzas and selling jeans. The next big role was a thunderclap. In 1993, she auditioned for Muriel's Wedding. To capture the plain-looking, lonely, socially awkward and ABBA-obsessed Muriel Heslop, Collette underwent one of her first dramatic transformations, gaining 18 kilos in just 7 weeks. Released in 1994, the film was a global sensation and her definitive breakthrough. Critics called her vibrant and energetic, playing Muriel with disarming earnestness. This wasn't a standard, palatable Hollywood character. Muriel was a flawed, yearning character, plain, weird, suburban, and deeply relatable. This commitment to the authentic, difficult character, the theme of her career, earned her a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress and her first ACTA Award for Best Actress. Essentially, she had arrived by being radically, spectacularly uncool. The mid-90s saw Toni building a reputation for versatility. She won her second ACTA for the drama Lillian's Story and held her own against Gwyneth Paltrow in the Jane Austen adaptation of Emma that same year, playing the heartbreakingly empathetic Harriet Smith. But it was 1998's cult classic Velvet Goldmine, a glam rock epic that Collette credited with furthering her passion for acting. She played Mandy Slade, a character that added restless, challenging and independent character to her resume. The global stage arrived with a whisper, followed by an unforgettable scream. In 1999, Collette was sent the script for The Sixth Sense. She feared a formulaic Hollywood action drama, but was moved by the story. She won the role over actors like Marissa Tomei, and as Lynn Sear, the struggling mother of Cole, Haley Joel Osment, she gave an emotionally devastating performance. The film was an unprecedented commercial success, grossing $670 million worldwide. More critically, it earned Collette her first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Her critics once again highlighted her ability to deliver authentic, profound emotion. With Hollywood's door now wide open, she did what few mainstream actors would. She returned to her first love, the stage. In 2000, she made her Broadway debut in the musical The Wild Party, playing the vaudeville showgirl Queenie. She was nominated for a Tony Award, and it was during this commitment that she made another nonconformist move, turning down the title role in Bridget Jones's Diary due to her Broadway schedule. She chose the integrity of the theatre commitment over a guaranteed blockbuster film franchise. No shade on Renee Zellweger, but personally, I think she would have made a fantastic Bridget. Next, she played Kitty in The Hours, delivering an utterly convincing small-scale emotional meltdown. In the romantic comedy About a Boy, she played Fiona Brewer, a woman battling depression, where again she embraced a role which presented her as someone plain, troubled, overweight and distinctly unglamorous. This was highlighted even further by the fact that the male lead was played by Hugh Grant, then in his foppish heartthrob phase. About a Boy, one of my personal faves, earned Toni her first BAFTA Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. But perhaps the most authentic role of this period came in 2003 with Japanese Story. Playing Sandy, a geologist in a desolate Australian outback, she gave a performance some critics regard as the best of her career. John Patterson called it a shattering performance, masterfully controlled and detailed, and all the proof her fans ever needed of her special brilliance. She won her 4th ACTA Award statuette. She was choosing challenging, complex lead roles back home, refusing to be pigeonholed by Hollywood. Having proven her strength as a lead, Collette spent the mid-2000s anchoring some of the most acclaimed ensemble dramas of the decade. Her performances were often the emotional foundation that allowed the star-studded casts to shine. In 2005's In Her Shoes, she played Rose Feller, the lawyer's sister with low self-esteem, opposite Cameron Diaz and Shirley MacLaine. Then came the indie darling of 2006, Little Miss Sunshine. As Cheryl Hoover, the long-suffering matriarch, she was the steady hand holding the dysfunctional family together during a chaotic road trip. The film was a Sundance phenomenon and a huge global hit. Collette was nominated for her 2nd BAFTA Award for showing that she had the fabulous ability to be simultaneously funny and believable, even when the plot was absurd. This period also saw her working close to home, earning her 5th ACTA Award for her co-executive produced 2008 film The Black Balloon, playing Maggie Mollison. But the role that redefined her career and proved her limitless authenticity was waiting on television. In 2008, she accepted the leading role in the Showtime series United States of Tara, created by Steven Spielberg. She was cast without an audition. Collette played Tara Gregson, a wife and mother dealing with dissociative identity disorder, DID, forcing her to convincingly portray multiple alternative personalities, a beer-swilling Vietnam vet, a rebellious teenager, a 1950s housewife, and more, often all within the same scene. It was a staggering feat of acting, a masterclass in nonverbal communication and rapid character transformation. The San Francisco Chronicle called her a tour de force, and for the first season alone, she won both a Primetime Emmy and a Golden Globe for Best Actress. She had taken on a premise that risked being a gimmick and turned it into an emotionally resonant, authentic study of mental illness and family love. Following United States of Tara, Collette entered a stage of her career defined by volume and incredible range, hopping between independent films and a return to the stage that brought her career full circle. In the independent comedy Mental, she played Shaz, a hitchhiker nanny to 5 mentally ill sisters. For this, she was praised as charismatic and all-inhabiting. 2013 was the peak of her indie film darling status. In The Way, Way Back, she played Pam opposite Steve Carell and received universally positive reviews. That same year, she starred in the CBS drama Hostages, earning acclaim for her superb, nuanced and grounded performance, proving she could anchor a network procedural as well as a psychological drama. In 2014, she returned to her theatrical roots after a 14-year absence, starring in the play The Realistic Joneses on Broadway. She shared the stage with Marissa Tomei, Michael C. Hall and Tracy Letts, garnering rave reviews. And she kept making bold choices, starring opposite Drew Barrymore in the cancer drama Miss You Already. Then she starred in the crime thriller Imperium opposite Daniel Radcliffe, playing an FBI analyst. In 2017, Collette and her US-based talent manager Jen Turner co-founded the film production company Vocab Films. This meant that she was able to further drive her authenticity as its producers, rather than actors, who controlled the narrative. The past decade has seen Collette take her lifelong commitment to authenticity and channel it into roles of unimaginable intensity, resulting in a new wave of critical adoration and cultural impact. In 2018, she starred in Hereditary, hesitating initially, having sworn off heavy roles, but the script's grounded approach to grief convinced her. As Annie Graham, the emotionally shattered matriarch, haunted by the supernatural, she delivered what she called the most difficult performance of her career, shooting up to 14 takes on scenes that were emotionally draining. She immediately followed up with more television excellence in 2019. In the Netflix miniseries Unbelievable, she played Detective Grace Rasmussen, investigating a series of sexual assaults. She accepted the role prior to reading the script, finding the topic important and so meaningful. Her compassionate, nuanced performance earned her another Primetime Emmy nomination. The series was viewed by over 32 million people, proving her power to blend art and social impact. That same year, she showed her lighter side as the hilarious New Age influencer Joni Thromby in the mystery hit Knives Out. The film grossed over $311 million, and critics highlighted Collette's performance as divine as a deeply sincere phony. She continued to seek out the strange and challenging, playing Mother in I'm Thinking of Ending Things. She played a carny psychic in Nightmare Alley, and in the mini-series The Staircase, she was Emmy-nominated for her portrayal of Kathleen Peterson, bringing an essential sympathetic humanity to a real-life figure. In 2024, she reunited with director Clint Eastwood for the thriller Juror No. 2. The woman who has embodied a dizzying array of flawed, complex and intensely authentic characters has pursued her own self-expression beyond the screen. In 2003, she married drummer Dave Galafassi of the band Gelbison. She took her early love of singing and dancing and turned it into the band Toni Collette and The Finish. She wrote all 11 tracks of their 2006 album, Beautiful Awkward Pictures. It wasn't a celebrity vanity project, more a personal journey. Though the band retired after 2007, its existence reveals that the creative impulse is core to her identity. Now a mother of 2, Toni has learned to balance the compulsion to create with the necessity of living a balanced life, prioritising meditation and time with her family in Sydney. In 2025, she continued her streaming dominance, starring as Evelyn Wade in the highly anticipated Netflix series Wayward, about a reform academy for troubled teens. This confirmed what her entire filmography suggests, that studios will continue to chase the authenticity that she provides because it resonates with a world tired of artifice. Toni Collette's career is the answer to the question, What if an actor simply refused to compromise? She never pursued the conventional path. She traded a possible Bridget Jones fortune for the integrity of Broadway. She repeatedly chose the deeply flawed, messy and unvarnished character, from the desperate Muriel to the multi-faced Tara to the screaming grief of Annie Graham, over the flawless Hollywood heroine. She proved that to be truly successful, you do not need to be universally liked or conventionally beautiful. You only need to be real and talented. And in a world of manufactured glamour, Toni Collette remains fiercely, brilliantly, and brutally real.